Hi everyone, welcome to another Joseki lesson. Today let's talk about the Joseki. But unfortunately it's outdated. Still important to learn because you see this sequence in almost every Joseki book before 2017. And before 2017, if you ask a professional player or a high-level amateur player to show you one Joseki, I bet that more than 80 or 90% of them will show you this one. Why? Because this is what people used to teach amateurs, beginners, as their first Joseki. It's so simple. Black approaches the corner start point, white plays the small knight's move, black plays on the second line, trying to come into the corner, white plays on the 3-3 point, protecting the corner, and black plays a 2-space extension here on the side. And in the past, people would tell you that this is pretty even, right? White has Sente, but black has a lot of influence here on the upper side, and white has a solid base here. And then AlphaGo came in 2016. It first beat Lee Sedol 4-1 in March, and then later that year in December and January 2017, AlphaGo played 60 games online against professional players. And during those 60 games, which Michael Redmond has a really nice series explaining the opening moves in all 60 games, you're going to see human players playing this move a lot at number 7. And guess what AlphaGo did? It ignored it. The reason is actually quite simple. We have known it all along. The reason is that we shouldn't play on the second line at the opening phase of a game. Playing on the second line is inefficient and slow. And AlphaGo realized that before human players did. So it is perfectly legitimate for white to play away. If black comes into the corner like this on the 3-3 point, white can simply extend on the side, and number 4 and 6 will not be under attack. If black plays the pincer here, white can always come into the corner and build a base. So white is not really afraid of being attacked. And that is why number 7 is now considered a bad move. But the question for beginners is that, can beginners still play this Joseki? And the answer is yes. Playing this will not hurt either side, and this is still pretty even, though you can argue that white has a slight advantage because number 7 is relatively inefficient. However, as you become a mid-level amateur player, you should be aware that number 7 might slow you down at the beginning of a game. If you're white in this situation, you should consider playing elsewhere. Playing on the corners like this or this is always more valuable than playing here on the upper left. And sometime down the line, there could be other Josekis that white can choose from, like this pincer, forcing black into the corner, and white will take the potential on the outside. So once again, 7, 11, and 15 are all on the second line, very inefficient moves. There are also many Josekis stemming from this attachment move, which is more aggressive, putting more pressure on black. And we can talk a little bit about this Joseki sometime down the line. Because number 7 is considered inefficient, new Josekis in the age of AI is this attachment underneath against number 4. And white will have to play this bend, and black will play this double hunting. And this will lead to a few Josekis that are commonly played now that we'll explore in the next couple of lessons right after this one. The difference between this attachment underneath and this move on the second line is that this attachment underneath puts much more pressure on white, although it's only one space apart. So now, white cannot play away. If white plays away, black can take the corner like this. If white wants to save number 4, it can play this exchange, forcing black to connect here on the corner. So black has more territory here on the corner, while white's number 4 and 10 do not have any territory below them, and they're very concentrated here on the corner, and they barely have any potential toward the center. So these 3 stones are very, very slow and inefficient for opening moves. So that is why it's not acceptable for white to ignore number 7, because 7 and 9 here are much better than 7 and 9 this way. So that's the positional judgment that you should learn as a beginner. It is relatively inefficient to take the corner this way, and it is much, much better for black to take white's corner this way. And that is why in our next lesson, we'll explore what happens after black's number 9. So just to recap, this is the Joseki, a very famous, very common Joseki before the age of AI. If you ask, can beginners play this Joseki? The answer is absolutely yes. You can still play this Joseki. It's still pretty even. It will not make a huge difference to the winning probability when you play this as a beginner. However, as you become a mid-level amateur, maybe 2, 3, 4 dan, or high-level amateur 5 dan or above, you should realize that number 7 is a slow move. And if you're black, you should avoid this move and play other Josekis instead, like this attachment underneath. And if you're white in this situation, if your opponent plays number 7, this relatively slow and inefficient move, you should consider playing elsewhere, like this, because playing away for now preserves other possibilities here on this corner for white. And white, number 4 and 6, are not afraid of being attacked right away. So that is why number 7 is a slow move. Hopefully that made sense, and please let me know if you have any questions. Good luck, and thank you for watching.